Welcome everybody to episode 3, and we're gonna hop right into this. Over the span of my career, I get a lot of similar questions being asked to me as an artist. So what we did is we went through my DMs, we went through my story, I asked my Discord, and basically we're gonna answer a lot of my most commonly asked questions that I get as an artist. Does that sound good?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, and I'm gonna pass it to you, and we'll get started.
A lot of people don't know the meaning behind your artist name. So, what is it?
Easy, y'all. First of all, there's a big debate on how to say my name.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
if you don't know how to say my name, I get a lot of Drod, I get a lot of Droid, I don't know, around that atmosphere of things, but rightfully so because I don't have a slash in my name. The way that you say my name is Drod because my first name is Daniel and my last name is Rodriguez. So you put the D and the ROD, last name is Drod together. So yeah, that's basically how I got my name. I mean, if you say Drod, it's not a big deal at all. It's just that's how I got my name. So for all of you to know, it's just my first and last name put together. Nothing else much to it, but I appreciate that.
Okay, so what was it like for you growing up? And do you know any other languages? Do you speak any other languages?
Yeah, growing up, I'll do a really quick rundown because I know we have a lot of questions. But growing up, born in New Jersey, moved to North Carolina when I was 7. And what else was in that question?
And do you speak any other languages?
Yes, I am Hispanic actually. So I am half Cuban and half Guatemalan. So I speak Spanish, not as much now because you don't know Spanish as much, we're still learning Spanish. I guess we're trying to teach you Spanish. How would you say that? I don't know.
Yeah, like I'm like slowly learning Spanish.
Yeah. I mean,
I understand probably 75% of the conversation. But yeah.
I was raised in a Spanglish household, which means, my parents would talk to me in Spanish. I would respond to them in English, or like my parents would half talk to me in Spanish and then finish the sentence in English. So a lot of the Spanish English variety in there, but I wouldn't say I'm fluent in it now. Obviously I can still speak and carry on a conversation, but since I don't speak a lot of it now, it's like a muscle, if I don't go to the gym for like 6 months, I'm not going to be strong anymore. Yeah. And if I'm not embraced in the culture, or if I'm not speaking to Spanish to everybody, I'm not going to speak it as much. So, yeah. But yeah, I mean, we do Duolingo every day. We try to get just at least a little bit of familiarity.
His parents and grandparents speak Spanish to us.
Yeah, so exactly. Yeah.
He's better at Spanish than he gives himself credit. But your mom claims that Spanish was your first language for the first 3 years of your life.
Well, because I was raised up as a baby, like all she would say was Spanish phrases to me. Yeah. And going into school, I had to learn English or whatever. Yeah. So
to the point, she said the pediatrician told her like this kid needs to learn English.
Yeah, before I went to kindergarten. Yeah,
so I guess you were around like 5.
Yeah, and then we can make we could talk later on. I guess how much more I grew up, but that's a little basic story of my culture, I guess, how I grew up.
Do you have any siblings?
Yeah, one sister. One sister.
Yeah. And she's younger.
Yeah.
She's sweet. All right, moving on to the next question. Can you share a moment in your life that has been profound impact on your music, but has not been widely discussed?
I guess.
Basically, condense that question. What's been like very impactful on you? But
yeah, what impacts my music a lot? I guess I've seen a lot of those questions.
Or like what a milestone that impacts your music? You haven't really discussed.
I guess a lot of things that impact my music is what's going on in my life on the day-to-day basis. Yeah. That's probably like the shortest answer I can give to anybody. But because I get a lot of questions around that, like what inspires your music? What tools do you use to do your music? Or how do you get your music a certain place? And it's really just, I guess, a rinse and repeat cycle of me making a lot of songs and having them not work until I found something that works and I found something that sounds good, and then I kind of grew on that. And so I guess, but it's as you go through life, you learn and you mature, and through that your music matures, I feel like, you know. So I guess that's a short answer to that. If you have any other follow-ups, let me know.
How do you cope with creative blocks? It could be writing blocks as well.
Yeah.
Do you use any unique methods to overcome them?
For sure. I've seen that a lot. I guess writer's block is the biggest thing that people would ask about. Yeah. So what I would say is because I write a lot of music and I'm so consistent with it that it's very hard to have writer's block if you're like, if I don't write music for a long time, it's going to be hard to get back into it. But if I am consistently working at my songwriting muscle, it's going to be a lot easier, So I guess my answer to not having writer's block is to not take a day off or not take a day off of inspiration, because I'm not writing music every single day. I do write a lot and I do make a lot of songs, but over the span of my life, I guess it's easier now because I've made a lot more music,
Yeah.
So yeah.
That makes sense. Is there anything else you do like outside of just writing every day that helps you like clear
inspires
your
me.
mind, or like just like clears your mind.
Yeah, I mean, anytime that I feel overworked or I feel burnt out, it's good just to take a chill pill. Like we'll take a night off, we'll watch a movie or something, and then I just get right back into it. I think that's what's been. I
Yeah.
think over a year and a half of just doing this really hardcore, I think I feel very fulfilled in my purpose. So whenever I take it, like when we were in New Jersey and we didn't
Yeah.
really work on music for that week, I felt weird. I was like, why am I not writing music? Why am I not making videos? Why am I feel weird. It's like this is what I have to do, you know?
You
So
were
it's
antsy the
it's a
entire
habit.
time. Like
Yeah.
he didn't know what to do with himself. Like sitting still is not like it's
Yeah.
not for him at all. You're like constantly
Yeah.
doing something. So I could tell that whole trip. Anytime like we're trying not to do music stuff, we get so antsy. We just end up doing like content or something.
Yeah.
Which that week we really didn't.
We didn't, but I guess it's the habit of doing it. You know, it's like I feel weird not doing the habit
Yeah.
that I've been doing the last year and a half, which is music. So it comes easier, is what I'm trying to say. Is the more that
That
you
is
do
true.
something, it becomes easier to do it, and it becomes like it creates like neural pathways in your brain to do it more often. You know,
Yeah.
which is with anything. That's why I guess if people have like a bad addiction, it can be bad for people. You know, or people
Yeah.
get good addictions. You know, like I mean, this is my job now, so it's good that I love to do what I like to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess it all goes.
I
It all
also
ties
see,
together.
like you're less stressed or anxious when you are writing more.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you're not like stressing about like what am I going to write about. Like I feel like once you do it more, I feel like I've seen like you less anxious.
Yeah,
Which is-
I feel more fulfilled
grown up
at the end of the day if I have something tangible like a song or like a really good video
Yeah.
to show for myself. And if I don't do something like that, I just feel very, very I feel like I just wasted away my day, or I wasted away my
Yeah.
purpose, you know? Because if that's what I'm made to do, I want to do it every single day.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I was never like that until I guess like until we got married, and now I'm like the same way. Like I'm like, oh, I didn't do anything all day, and you're like,
Yeah.
you did so much, you
For
know?
sure. And that just takes accountability. Like if I don't know if we're doing something in
Yeah.
our working hours, we make sure we get stuff done. But
Yeah.
it's fun. It's not like any stress. And if there is higher stress moments, then we help each other through that.
Yeah, that's so true. That's good. All right. Apart from music, what is some of your biggest passions, or what are some of your
Being
biggest passions?
hanging out with you, I guess.
That's your biggest passion.
I do. I mean, I just love since we've gotten married over the last year and 4 months or something. Anytime I'm not doing music, I find fulfillment in being with you, and that inspires me to make
Yeah.
more music. So it's like a cycle of, you know, I don't know. Like I loved last year for 2023. We traveled a lot. We went to like Colorado, Alabama, Missouri. Where else? I mean, Jersey. We went to a few other places, right? I don't know.
So
but
many I
it
can't
was.
even name.
I loved traveling with you, and I just loved creating memories because that also ties back into music as well.
Yeah.
So, but on top of that, though, like we do stuff together all the time.
Yeah.
Like we love watching movies. We love coloring now. We've been randomly coloring. We
That's
love.
so therapeutic.
Yeah, we love doing Legos. You know, you love cooking. We'll go to the gym together. So anything that we do, I mean, we're a married couple, so we do stuff together
Yeah.
like that. So that's what I would say is, other than music, because I can do that whenever. I guess we're just hanging out. You know.
I feel like if I had to answer this question for you, I would say Legos is like a big thing, like you mentioned. But we were talking about this earlier off camera. But like finances is something that like when you're not doing music, you're like studying. I
Yeah.
guess it's like the best way. Like you're always doing that.
I'm
I don't know.
studying how to make sure that, you know, we steward our money or our finances well, because in the business side of us, you know, we
Yeah.
want to make sure we manage it all very well. And on top of that, what we can do in our personal lives is something that, you know, I don't want to take for granted, you know? So
Yeah.
anything that I can do just to help us out, whether it's budgeting or investing or whatever, I love to do that as well. Like I said, I'm a nerd, so it's fun for me.
Yeah, I see like you're like I would use the word passionate about that. That's why I would like throw that in.
Definitely.
Okay, so the next question is, are there any reoccurring themes or messages in your music that you intentionally incorporate? And what motivates those choices?
Definitely, I would say.
Okay, so if you want to finish the rest of that podcast episode, along with dozens of other podcasts, song breakdowns, and exclusive videos and songs that I don't put out anywhere else, join Drod's Coffeehouse for free. I promise I post 3 times a week in there, and I don't even show it to anyone else except for the people in there. So I love y'all, and I'll see you soon in the Coffeehouse.